Well, hello, nursing students. My name is Vivian Stewart, and I would like to welcome you to our virtual classroom experience. This session will cover highlighting our nursing resources. Now, I am not sure how familiar you are with using library resources when it comes to completing your assignments. So, my task is to simply introduce you to what Southwest has to benefit you as a nursing student. Now, I do want you to know that in order to access the library's webpage, simply go to any of the public websites for the school and you will see library listed in the blue bar up at the top. Now, normally when I offer these type of sessions, I like to start off by just taking a look at the library's homepage. But in order to save time so that I can show you as many resources as possible, I just want to highlight some things on the homepage and then we will go directly into looking at our resources. Now, I don't expect you to remember everything today. What I do hope that you will do is take some notes and then come back to these resources later and try them on your own. And if you're having problems understanding them, well, then just reach out to us for assistance. Now, at this point, it may be good for you to select to view everything in full screen view so that you can make sure that you see everything as plainly as possible. At the very top, it says, Welcome to the library. So, we are the InfoNet Library, and we have 5 locations for our students, faculty, and staff to use. Next, you'll see that there are announcements concerning that our physical locations are closed, but you can still contact us through Ask a Librarian. And we recently started curbside pickups on Tuesday and Thursdays. So if you would like to check out resources that are not reference or textbooks, just follow the instructions that are listed. Under instant message us whenever a librarian is actually online. This will be listed in orange, and you'll have the ability to chat with the librarian. When we are not online, it gives you the option to send us an email. In a moment, we will take a look at our databases page, but I want you to know that we have this course reserves page, which is where you would go if you're trying to find out if one of our locations has a copy of a print textbook that you could come in and use for a 2-hour period. Reserve a study room allows you to book study rooms at our campus locations, and you can use those for a 3-hour period under normal conditions. Our forms allows you to request information from us or services, and they allow us to gather feedback from you. CyberCat is our online catalog, which is used primarily to search for print resources. WorldCat is a global catalog which allows you to find holdings on libraries around the world. SOAR is our discovery service, and you will see this. We have our widgets at the bottom. Ask a Librarian will provide you with about 8 different ways you can get assistance. We have our own YouTube channel where we have been creating videos that show you how to use our resources. You have the 360 virtual tour so that you can view the interior of our different locations. The library webinars page will provide you with our schedule of live sessions. So if you would like to join us, we would appreciate your, joining us sometime so that you can have these sessions live. We do have a social media presence and branch hours and info will provide you with typical operational hours. If you ever experience any type of problems, please use this form to report a problem and we can take care of that in a timely manner. Under links, I just simply want you to know that if you would like to use one of the open labs that are open this semester, just simply use this particular request form. And I am now selecting library services. From here, I am selecting circulation services, and there are 3 things I want to discuss. When it comes to our checkout procedure, your college ID is needed to check materials out from us. You cannot just simply give us your student ID number. We need to see your college ID. It is also a campus policy that you should have your college ID on you at all times. So it's good to just get in the habit of always having it. The next thing on this page talks about our borrowing use agreements. Now, we maintain partnerships with each of the schools that is listed here. So, as a Southwest student, under normal conditions, you would be able to visit these libraries and their students could come to our libraries. Now, during this pandemic, some of these locations are still closed. Others are only servicing their students, faculty, and staff. So, for future reference, if you decided you wanted to visit the Baptist College Health Sciences Library, well, this is considered a Category A school. And the Category A schools will allow you to borrow materials from them. Your Southwest ID is required. When it comes to possibly using their computers, you would just simply need to inquire because they may have some restrictions. If you decided you wanted to visit the University of Tennessee Health Sciences Library, this is a Category B. You will not be able to borrow materials, but they will allow you to use them. And also, they require that you call in advance to set up an appointment so we can provide you with the name and contact number. So, what I just want you to know is that there may be resources that you need that we do not have. We partner with these schools to make sure that you at least will have access if you are flexible to travel to those locations. Lastly, you have our rules of conduct, which are very simple. We ask that you monitor your noise level as not to disturb anyone. We ask that you do not bring in foods or beverages, but at the Bowen Bloom Library at the Macon Cove campus, we do have the Cyber Cafe, and that is a designated place where you can eat and drink items. Do not misuse library property. We're only asking that you be respectful. Please don't put your feet up in chairs, sit on the tables right on our property. The last one asks you to place your cell phones on vibrate and long conversations are not allowed. So we are not saying you can't use your cell phones, but when you place your phones on speaker and have conversations, that is a distraction. Also, when you're FaceTiming someone, that can be a distraction. So please just keep those things in mind, please. Now, you may want to revisit this page, but at this point, I am simply selecting my left arrow. And I want to point out that you may want to take a look at off campus and frequently asked questions. Now, let's move to look at some of our resources. So I am selecting databases. Our databases will serve as alternatives to using popular search engines. Now, in the field of nursing or any allied health area, you always need to find current information. Okay. It's also good to make sure that you're finding credible and scholarly type information also. So whereas you may feel very comfortable using popular search engines, I want you to know that there are other alternatives. So I want to show you some of those now. On our databases page, we can locate electronic books, multimedia items, journal, and magazine articles. Because we are working remotely, a Southwest username and password is required. If you would like to see an alphabetical listing of all of our databases along with the description, just visit this A to Z resource page. The quick searches are one-page documents which are subject specific, which will provide you with the listing of the best databases to use, may highlight some electronic books, and then also highlight some periodicals. So on this page, as I scroll down, you'll see that we have broad headings. They are arranged alphabetically, starting with biographies, and the list goes down to science. So, what I want to do now is perform a couple of searches, not looking at every feature that these databases have, but just performing a basic search so that you can see what type of information it provides. And then hopefully you will come back and you will look at some of these later. So let's start with the category of biographies. As you can see, I have a listing of databases and I have recommended websites. I am selecting biography, Gale, and context. So the first thing, I am required to log in. So once I am actually logged in, I will have access to all of the databases on our page. There are certain times when my computer tends to run a bit slow, but hopefully we won't have any issues. So let's say that you had an assignment to find biographical information on a nurse possibly that you have studied in your course. And names that may come to mind may be Florence Nightingale and Clara Barton. So let's perform a search for Clara Barton. I'm typing in the last name, and as you can see, I already see a listing, and now I select it, and this is what you're given. We have a picture that I can actually enlarge. I have an overview, and it says that I can click to read more. So I have full text information coming from contemporary heroes and heroines, and this is full text information that is provided for me. Now, this is not all that is available. So as I just simply go back to the previous page, I can see I have quick facts over to the right-hand side. And as I scroll down, I have two featured contents, which is information coming from books. I have 48 biographies. I have two video clips. I have academic journals and audio, two reference books, 145 newspaper articles, images, and magazine articles, all pertain to this person. Now, let's just go back one more page and I want to do one more search. So let's say that the instructor said you cannot use Clara Barton, you cannot use Florence Nightingale. So you need to find information about another nurse. Well, at this point, I am simply performing an occupation search. So I typed in nurses. And now under biographies, I have 2,964, which will give you biographical information on someone that falls into the category of nurses. So it may not be as much information as was available on Clara Barton, but you do have something listed here, and then you have a name to where you can use other resources to try to find information. So this is biography in context. Next, I am going to the category of electronic books. I am starting with this collection has about 179,000 books in it. And I simply want to perform a search for nursing. A little bit more ingenious. Let's try to find something on maternity nursing. Now, this is just a simple keyword search, and it found 9,052, which means either nursing or maternity is appearing. So, we could have filtered this by possibly enclosing it in quotation, but just for my search, this is fine. So, in my search results, as you can see, over to the left-hand side, I can limit by publication date if I wanted to, but I have my title, I have a picture of the book, I have my publishing information. By simply selecting the title, this will now load the book up for me. I have my book details. I can see the number of pages I can copy. I see the number of pages I can actually print. And when I'm ready, read online will actually load the book up for me. So my table of contents shows up over to the left-hand side. I have tools across the top that I can use, and some of these will require that you create an account. This is the cover of the book, and in order to navigate through this book, I could use my navigational arrows up at the top, or I could simply use the scroll bar. But the entire content of the book is available here for you to use. So this is ProQuest eBook Central. Next, I'm going to Net Library. This collection has 269,000 books in it. And let's perform the same search. And this one has 58 up under maternity nursing. So using the same strategy as before, we are provided with the title of the book. We have the author's name and publishing information. We have the cover of the book. By simply selecting the title, I will now see the tools that I have access to. I have a description of the book. I can easily look at the table of contents if I would like to. And I have two options, PDF full text and EPUB full text. So the book is now loading up for me. I have my table of contents. I have tools across the top. This is the cover of the book. Using my navigational arrows, I can go through the entire book. Okay. Now, if you don't mind, I just want to go to start a new search, and I'm just interested in seeing how many nursing books are actually in this collection. So let me just perform a quick search for nursing, and then we will go forward. 2,196 just on nursing. The last thing we're going to look at here is the R2 library. Now, please note we just have this on trial, okay? So this is basically how it will work. We could search by a certain discipline. If I was interested in knowing how many books are on care plans, as you can see, there are 6. So I want to try to find information on fluids and electrolytes. So this is in my search box. I am now searching. The results list has 18,440 results. So as you can see, what is happening is pulling the chapters on my topic from these particular books. This is the title of the book. This is a picture of the book. Over to the left-hand side, I could just select the full text items only. I could search for items that show me images, and then there are 3 video clips that are provided for me. So if I simply select that I want to see chapter 21 out of this book, this is the first page of this particular chapter, and by pressing my navigational arrows, I can see the entire contents for chapter 21. And as you can see, there are hyperlinks that are provided, which will allow me to move to other places from here. Now, this trial is based upon what's called PDA, patient-driven acquisitions. So if we decide to order materials, it's based upon the number of times that someone has actually used to open up a certain book. So you still have this available on trial. So please, before this trial is over, just use it and let us kind of know how you like it. Now, since this is not one of our regular databases, I just have to continue to click on my left arrow to get back. Okay, so next I am going to the category of exams. Under databases, I am selecting career and workplace preparation. So if you're looking for practice exams, this is a good place to come. So as it opens up, I'm simply scrolling down and I am selecting prepare for nursing exams. So what we have here is prepare for nursing school entrance tests, and these are the things that are available. I have prepared for the NCLEX RN. This is what is available. Prepare for NCLEX PN and prepare for the nursing assistant, nurse aide certifications. So you have practice tests and then there are ebooks that are here. And these are your copies of ebooks that you could download and have a permanent copy of. So when it comes to the practice test, you could take it in 3 modes. There's a simulation mode, which will have a timer. And after you finish, you will automatically see the graded results. You could take it in a study mode where it shows you the questions and the answers. And then you can also take it in another mode, but I don't remember the actual name for that. But basically, you don't have the timer and you can spend time there as long as you want. So, so these are the tests that you have access to. Now, in order to use this, what you would need to do is to register. Create your own account so that you can track your progress and you can see how you have improved over time. We're leaving this now. Let's go to the category of medicine health. Under medicine health, you'll see that we have a long listing of various databases. So let's take a quick look at Center Complete, which will provide us with very scholarly type information. And let's say that I wanted to find something on joint disorders. and just waiting for the results. 4,743. Now, everything is not full text here. So under limit 2, I'm selecting full text. As you can see, the number came all the way down to 402. So what you have is the title of your articles. You have your author's name and the source that it came from. And in this case, you're looking at the PDF full text. It shows you how the articles look when they were scanned from the resource. Your tools are available over to the right-hand side. And if you have a Gmail account, this symbol will allow you to log in and send it to your Google Drive. Now, I also want to point out that over to the left-hand side, these are other articles that appeared in this particular journal. So you will have access to all of the articles, not just the one that you were interested in. So that's sent out complete. We have the Davis's Drug Guide. So I want to try to find information. Let's just do aspirin. In some cases, you will actually have pictures of your items. You do have a pronunciation key, which is very helpful. And these are the different things that it will provide for you. Talks about dosage and um, the interactions and conditions and various things that I'm sure that you understand. What I suggest you do is you create an account so that you can create a folder and keep your information in a folder so you don't have to duplicate your searches. Along with using the Davis's Drug Guide, I suggest that you use the AHFS Consumer Medication Information. This one is based on a layman's concept where anyone off of the street can find information on a drug, and it's written in simple terms so that they can easily understand it. So I suggest that you kind of use these in tandem so that you can fully understand the information. We're going to look at health and wellness scale. And of course, you can easily perform a search here if you would like. But I am just simply scrolling down a little bit so that you can see we have categories to look for diseases and conditions. We can look at drugs. We can look at diagnostics and tests. We have therapies, treatments, and surgeries. And you also have mental health. So you can look at it by topics, or you can just look at all 326 topics if you would like. And it will give you full text information on your topics. So let's select allergies. It provides us with an overview, tells us how many reference books will provide me with information, magazines, newspaper articles, academic journals, images, and audios, full text information. Let me see what else we want to do. Let's do one more in this cat, well, two more, I'm sorry. Let's look at Nursing Reference Center. So these are your tabs. We can perform a basic search here, and then we can select if we want to specify assessment, diagnosis, planning, implementation, and evaluation. And these are the things that you would need to include in a care plan. So it's based really for nurses, nursing students. We can look at diseases and conditions and find information. You can look at skills and procedures, and there's also a checklist provided here for you. We could look at drug information, patient education that let you know how to care for people once they leave the facilities. And then there are practice resources, which are actually books that you have access to. Closing this out. And I do want you to see Ovid because this is where you can find specific nursing journals. So when this opens up, I'm simply selecting journals. And at this point, I should be able to see an alphabetical listing of the journals that's actually available here. So one that you just may be interested in is the AJN. So by simply selecting this link, we will see what we have access to. Over to the left-hand side, as you can see, the August. Well, okay, we went from 2013 through 2018. So we no longer have access to the current issues, but you do have from 13 to 18. Full text articles are available here for you. Closing this out, when it comes to recommended websites, these are websites that we have used that we consider to be good. Under multimedia, you have some individual titles and then you have some collections. So we have Films on Demand Allied Health videos. We have Films on Demand Nursing video collection. So, if you want to find streaming media because you're more of a visual type learners, well, in this collection, we have 1,122 titles. So by simply selecting a title, this will cue the video up for you. You'll be able to view the entire transcript. You can watch the video in its entirety. You could view it in full screen mode if you would like. These are the tools that are provided. This is a description, and this tag says nursing skills, which means there's a series of things to deal with nursing skills. So we're closing this out. We also have this health sciences video online, nursing and mental health video, a symptom media collection, nursing education and video. Let's take a quick look at this one just to see how many titles are here. 335 titles. And one unique thing about this one is that you can easily select an option to send these to your mobile device like your cell phone and watch it from there. Okay, so let's move on. Um, Not really opening any of these up. I just want to show you under databases. Academic Video Online has about 79,000 videos. Master Academic Collection has about 43,000. There are images that are available, and if you are taking like a music appreciation course along the way, this will help you find music that they cover in those type of classes. Under science, if you need a refresher on anatomy and physiology, we have Atom. There's something entitled The Visible Body. We have these recommended websites, and then you have Miracle of the Human Body that is available. Now, the last thing I want to show you on this page is that every course has some type of writing assignments. So under grammar and recommended websites, I want you to know that we have the thesis builder. So after you have completed your research, if you simply come here and answer these questions, it will develop a thesis statement for you. Questions are very simple. What's the topic you want to write about? What's your main opinion on the topic? What's the strongest argument supporting your opinion? What's a second good argument that supports your opinion? If it is not a persuasive paper, you can change this to what is a third good argument that supports your opinion, and it asks you to create a title. So when you select build a thesis based upon what you have placed here, it will generate a suggested thesis statement. It is not plagiarism as long as you don't copy and paste something from a source and try to use it as your own. And if you don't like the statement, you can just simply revise it. It will also make an outline for you. Now, after you have actually written something, before you turn it in to your instructors, allow Grammarly to proof it for you. And as a Southwest student, you will have access to the um, premium edition of Grammarly by simply creating an account. Your name, you must use your Southwest email, and then you have your password. When you select sign up, an email goes to your Southwest email and you complete the validation portion here. Wait for your welcome letter, and then you have your own account. So you copy and paste whatever you have written into Grammarly, and it will proof it for grammatical errors, spelling errors, and also plagiarism. It will highlight every problem, give excuse me, give you a suggestion of how to improve it. It will give you an explanation of why that was wrong, and then of course you will have the ability to just totally dismiss it if you like. Now, if you would rather work with somebody, keep in mind that the Academic Support Center is still available for tutoring, and they will proof things for you also. So I think you have a good idea that we do have a lots of resources that will benefit nursing students, and I did not go over all of them. I just want to make sure that you had a good showing of what is available. So I'm going back now to the library's homepage, and I want you to see our discovery service. So this time, let me try to find something on weight management. So what is happening is pulling together all of our print resources, all of our electronic resources, and putting everything together in one place, just like Google would do. Okay, so it gives you that Google experience. So if you're wondering why I did not start here, I really wanted you to see the vast number of databases we have access to, because all of those databases aren't necessarily included in this discovery service. So now let me just scroll down just a little bit to see if I see any print items. Okay, I don't, because I wanted to point out just how to understand the citations. But over to the left-hand side, I am selecting full text online. So if there are any print items on other pages, it has just removed those. Under content types, I am selecting magazine articles. Under publication date, I am selecting the last 12 months. So at this point, I have 2,842 results, keeping in mind that everything will not be something that I really would want to use. So you just have to use your best judgment. So by simply looking at the title, the source, the date, couple of sentences pulled from it, I should be able to make that determination. By simply selecting the title, I should now be able to view the full text of the article, which I have here. And then there are tools that are provided. Cite will cite this for you. You could translate this into multiple languages. I can increase or decrease the font size. I can listen to it if I want to. And once again, you can send it to your Google Drive and just have other tools that are provided. So we're closing this out. And the last thing that I want to show you is that we do have our own YouTube channel where we create videos to show you how to use our resources. And this summer, we have been very busy creating videos to make sure that our online students will have access to at least be introduced to the library. So you may want to look on this page to see what we actually have. And now we have Ask a Librarian. So if you would like a librarian to work with you one-on-one for about 15 to 20 minutes on a research project, simply submit this request form letting us know what is a good time, and a librarian will be assigned to reach back out to you. As you can see on the Ref Chatter, a librarian is actually online right now, so you're able to chat with them. These are the hours of operations. Now, this service is not set up for you to give us a list of questions and expect us to just provide you with the answers. What we would do is direct you to where you can go to find the answers. You can send us a text message and we will respond. We could chat with us on our Facebook page. When it comes to the telephone numbers at our different locations, we have staff members who are responding to any voice messages. Librarians are embedded in all of the online classes. So if you look at your class list, you'll see Ask a Librarian. So we will respond to your questions there. BombGuard is a software that will allow us to remote out to your computers. This is our departmental email address. And if you can't think of another way to contact us, please go to report a problem and we will respond. Okay, so my goal was to get through within 35 minutes, and I have. So let me stop sharing my screen now. And I do hope that this has been informative and that you could start thinking about using the library differently. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to reach out to us. We will be more than happy to assist you. Thank you so much, and I do hope that you will enjoy this video.